There's so many things in our lives that have conditioned us that we think controls our future, but we really control our future just on our own. And our next guest is going to share how that works. And he's also giving us some little tips on what to do when you first get up in the morning to change your direction. All right, this is fun.
Building spirituality, family, health, and business. This is The Giant Builders with Lois Wyant.
Hi, Giant Builders. Hope you're having a wonderful afternoon. Today's guest is Dr. Rob Kelly. Hello, doctor. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me today. It's going to be awesome.
Well, thank you for coming. I'm looking for awesome. That's great. Can you tell our listeners a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Yeah, so I'm over in San Antonio. I have 5 offices around the world. I specialize in alcoholism, addiction, childhood trauma, PTSD, depression, onset Alzheimer's, and dementia is what we cover. So it keeps us busy, of course. I've been in the industry about 30 years. Came to America 18 years ago, in Dallas 14, and now I'm in San Antonio for the last 4 years, and just enjoying life. I'm married, got 3 beautiful girls, 1 cat. We've lived the dream. To get to meet people I would never normally meet in my job. So yeah, it's I always say I'm living the dream instead of dreaming of living.
Oh, I love that. That's wonderful. Oh, that is so good. Well, tell me a little bit about how you assist people. What's the
So
process?
we basically what we do is we've studied the mind and brain. So we're kind of neuroscience experts, we're psychologists, we're behavioral scientists, and we study the brain and repatterning of the brain, different parts of the brain pertaining to trauma. So we reroute thought patterns for the future, take negative thought patterns away and put in positive neural pathways. We believe that anybody can do anything they want once their mindset has been reprogrammed from the childhood trauma. So 9,500 patients behind me and millions with the TV stuff I've done, the Oprahs and the doctors and all that stuff. So yeah, we've got a 98% success rate. Guys, just in case you missed that, we have a 98% success rate. And we're the only company in the world offering you a money back guarantee if it doesn't work.
Oh, that's awesome. Wow. So, what does a first meeting look like with you?
So you have to pass an assessment before we take you on. It was never about the money for us. It was about getting people well. 95% was using alcohol and drugs back 25 years ago, but it seems that 5% is right now because we're entrepreneurs. So you're coming for an assessment, and it's me really. It's not a prep assessment. It's me getting to know you and finding out if you're ready or not. So let's say you suffer from addiction or your parents have brought you in. I will just get the feel and I will try and trip you up and trying to find out if you're here because your parents have sent you and they're going to go easy on you if you come here, or if you're really here to get help. And that goes with everybody across the board. So 75% of people don't pass the assessment. And people think we're crazy. It's like, well, you'd have more money if you just took everybody on. It's like, I have a 98% success rate, and God would strike me down dead if I took anybody on for money. I mean, huge spiritual awakening years ago. Consider a point here that I help people that need help. I want help. We don't take patients on just for a check. We just don't do that.
So, when you say it, as long as they're ready, is that like they've broken down to the point where they know themselves they need to make a change?
That's exactly what it is. No point in coming in, but yeah, I kind of want to change, but I can't make Wednesday because it's like 3 o'clock. I'm at basketball. We don't do that. So what we do is we get them to text in first day before they come here. We get them to text in 3 times to one of the girls, and it can just be thumbs up, hi. But let's say it's 8 a.m., 12, and 2 p.m., and your appointment's at 4. If you text in 1 or 2 minutes before, you fail. If you text in 1 or 2 minutes after the time, you fail. If you fail any of them 3 texting, we cancel your appointment and you're not in. We want you. If I was suffering from an illness where somebody could get me over and free me and make me do anything I want to do and become successful, I would be there at 1 minute, 2, ready to send that text. And so that's what we're looking for. We're looking at Are you 100% concentrating on this new life we're going to give you? Or are you still kind of 90% in? We don't take 90%.
Oh, wow. Well, yeah, I mean, that's definitely, unfortunately, I'm a little bit of like an early bird type person, so I may fail because I would want to do 2 minutes before. So, um, I know you've written a book. Can you tell me about your book?
So let me prefix that. So when my wife left, um, and she took the children, I got back the next day, got them back the next day, and I put them in front of the living room. I used to be a chronic alcoholic, and I took a can of beer out and I started drinking it. Two days later, when the police kicked the door down, I've been in a stupor for 2 days. Children not been fed, ages 1 and 3, or changed diapers for 2 days. I almost killed them. Police served me with unfit father paper. And then my mother-in-law took the youngest one, and my wife took my eldest. And the eldest talking down the path with mummy, the authorities are there, and child protection and the police are there. And she said three things. And she said, Daddy, Daddy, please don't go. Of course, I stood there so shameful and guilty, and oh, my heart was bleeding because it was just horrible. Even one of the police officers was crying to find weird, such a sad thing. And halfway down the path, he turned around and said, Daddy, Daddy, please get better. And as they got to the big wrought iron gate, he opened the gate. She turned on one more time and said, Daddy, Daddy, please stop drinking. So 4 years ago, when she got in contact with me, um, out of the blue, we'd just finished the book. So when we got over to the house, we spent a week with them. We talked about the book and we're going to dedicate to it, but we don't have a title. And she said, what about the last thing I said to you, Dad? She called me Dad. I said, somebody. I said, what was that, Daddy? So that's where the title comes. It's written as if you're like an 8 or 9-year-old. It's about my story. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll feel sad. It's everything from when I left school. Before that, when I was 9 years old, it's where it all started for me. This whole journey. It's most of the horrible stuff that you're not supposed to tell anybody. It's all in the book. So very proud of it. And oh, by the way, guys, if you're thinking of writing a book and don't think you do right, I'll tell you what, it's the most healing tool I ever had in my life.
So you're helping people recover from a journey that you've already accomplished and overcome.
That's the key. I'm a great believer, unless you've been through it, you can't help anybody. I don't care how many degrees you have from whatever university. I have 10 years, from blah, blah, with a master's in addiction. If you've not been through it, it's a different disease. You can't help anybody. If you haven't been from in my case, with who we are, if you haven't been from rags to riches, you can't help people that want to better their lives. Whether that be money or kids back or better job or creating your own empire, all of them things stem from childhood trauma. Childhood trauma is the gateway drug for everything that we do today. So if you're lacking in relationships, you started a business, you can't keep jobs, it all goes back to childhood trauma, but not the trauma that people think, like car crashes, divorces. Goes way deeper.
So there's more of the inherited feelings that you've incorporated through your childhood experiences?
People with alcohol addiction, depression, which is a message from behavior from parents who pass that down, are very sensitive to any kind of trauma or loud noise. So babies are born with two fears: loud noises and fear of falling. That's all they have, unless they're man-made, that we pick up anything that's said from caregivers, parents. Don't be so stupid. You can't write a book. That's what I got told in class, and we wrote a book. Obviously stupid, you can't do that. So we get surrounded by those. When we're kids kicking a ball over here, you throw it to, but you're like 9 and 10. What do you want to be, Billy, when you grow up? I want to be an astronaut. What about you, Tony? I want to be a professional footballer. What happened to them dreams? A lot of you, they were kicked out of by our family and friends, because we live in the system that we grow up. I came from a council estate. I am expected to move into the projects and get a 9 to 5, 10-hour job, to have 2 children, get married, and that was my life. That's what every single generation has done, including my brother and sister. I wasn't happy with it. And there was more. I knew there was more to the mind and the brain than anybody knew pertaining to depression. I just knew there was. And that's what set our studies up into neuroscience and finding exactly what's going on. More importantly,
That's amazing. So, are there things that we as parents can do differently to help our children not be in trauma, or is it just our personalities that we have to deal with?
it's kind of a combination. What we found is one of our professors for a PhD, I didn't have to, sent me to the zoo on my behavioral science thing, sent me to the zoo to study chimpanzees and monkeys for a year. I hated that guy for that. Because back in England, it's pouring down with rain, it's freezing, it's snowing most of December. So, but I stayed a year there. And what I found with the research I was doing is when you watch the primates, that the nurturing they have with the children of each other was absolutely phenomenal. Now, we can't do that, obviously, here, because everybody has to work to afford a mortgage or rent today. But when you do spend time with children, it's the nurturing. So anything less than nurturing as a child is child abuse, as horrible as that may sound. So be there for them, love, validate something that they've been through. So validation and approval are big for children. So lots of women come to me who's either been molested, or worse when they were kids. Nobody validated that act. So it's been troubling all the life, all the adult lives, and you can't stay in relationships and stuff. Because back in the day, it was something like happened. I was molested by my priest and told my mom she hit me with a rubber shoe, sent me upstairs, telling me to not start in the rooms about this loving, beautiful priest that we have. So as we go along, nobody validated that for me. It was only 10 years ago, I was telling my therapist, and she just looked at me and she come close to me and she held my hand and she said, I'm not validating honest. I want to tell you what I know that it happened. And she took me up on his journey, and it was such a release for me. Such a release. And that's one of the reasons I've been so successful. I've got my two children back, all the great stuff, that you have to be set free before you realize what's on offer around you, because everything you wish for, everything you want is all around you. But the neural pathways to connect are not always broken. So you might almost get that job. You will self-sabotage. Oh, I didn't get that job. Yeah, that was kind of your fault. You went in our party because of trauma saying you never did. So basically what we say is people with trauma, just like I am, you'll never be tall enough, blonde enough, good enough, or rich enough. You have to come to that conclusion and then realize your identity of who you really are. That is the key to living. Find out who you are.
So how does one do that?
It's the trauma work. We have
Okay.
the biggest trauma tool we have. We've had it for about 6 months. It's brand new on the market, called 9D, breathwork therapy. And it's like hardcore therapy, 5 years in 5 hours. So we go back and prepare just through this journey. Headphones are popped on my spine. So you can really lie down and take it in. So once we fix that, the idea is with childhood trauma is to go back. We use brain spotting as well, where we can pull the memories away from you. You don't even know what's happened since something is right. We pull their memories out of you. We uncover what it is. We discover what it's about, and then we discard of that memory. So 300 neural pathways died and stay in the head and brain. What are we replacing them? Are we replacing them with the same old patterns going back to childhood? Or are we replacing them with good stuff? See, we have a morning routine that will change your life and it takes about 3 minutes. But people don't do it. They just think, well, this is life, this is the way it's supposed to be, clean the toilets, and this is my life. Stop all. You can do anything. And we've proved it thousands and thousands. Well, look at me. It's hot. Literally died twice on the street in Manchester. And yet I'm here today. So when I tell you that as a patient, you start to believe. And that's all I need. Believe that you can get to the same level of trying to get you better than me, obviously, and live a normal, fulfilled life where you are happy every day. You can't be happy every day. Says who? What life do you live that you can't? Now, we have better days than others, but what life do you have when I die twice, when I'm living on the street, when my bench in the middle of Manchester was my dining room, my toilet, my bathroom, when that bench was everywhere, how can I have a bad day? I mean, you have to realize what we had today. Most people have prayed for what they had today. But as human beings, we become complacent what we have. So you buy a brand new car, something you could never afford, that you could only dream of. All of a sudden, you find yourself in a position where you can buy this car, and you sit in the car, and it's amazing for a couple of days, and then you're driving to work miserable, and you're looking for the next fix on. And that's what childhood trauma is. You have to live in today. You can't live in yesterday. You can't live in tomorrow. And the essence is with the morning work that we do is subconscious brain, get rid of it, and conscious brain at night, first thing in the morning. I've got 3 parts of the brain reset every 24 hours, and if I do setting tomorrow and be consistent, you'll really find out the true identity. You really find out how powerful you are. So I can tell you that 25% more attractive than you are. You're probably 20% more intelligent than you are, and you're 100% capable of giving you life in the world. And people always used to say, Lois, you go, like 10 years ago, you can be anywhere you want to be. And the thing that Americans used to say that annoyed me was, well, I can't be president of the United States. Let's forget political views. I'm not into politics. We had a businessman running the country for 4 years with nothing, no experience whatsoever in politics. So please don't tell me you can't achieve. It's just not true. Somebody's put that there.
So can you share a couple of the morning routine suggestions?
Of course, it's going to change your life, guys, okay? You ready to change your life from tomorrow morning? You do this.
Be me.
All right, so let me go through the process, the pre-process, first of all, and explain. So the presence of oxygen equals a lack of disease. Every disease in the body, including cancers and stuff, are created in a hypoxic area. We only breathe 45 to 55% of our lung capacity. The 55% when we're at the gym or running, but the runner's high, you've heard about that. It's not the running or the exercise, it's this. It's the oxygen we get in. So oxygen is very important. So if you're in a normal circadian sleep pattern, between the hours of 2 and 5 o'clock in the morning, when the body starts motion, it's also in the body is a lack of oxygen. Lack of oxygen, subconscious brain thrives in hypoxic situations. Wake up in the morning, it's kind of wakes us up. Can we get the conscious brain in and get rid of this guy for 24 hours? Of course you can't get it. Get up tomorrow morning, we do anything, go to a restaurant captain, sit by the bed or hold on to the counter or something. And I want you to set 20 exaggerated breaths in and let's flood the brain, central nervous system, and everything with 100% oxygen. And it looks like this. And really exaggerated in. 20 times. Okay? Hour full of oxygen and the conscious brain is taken. The alertness of the conscious brain. Now we're ready. Now we can change the world, anything we want to do. Go into the bathroom. Let's change some neural pathways. Let's change them up so we get out of that pattern. If you brush your teeth with your right hand, or you do a week on the left, week on the right, week on the left, week on the right for every month. Every time we do that, we're changing neural pathways. Again, if 300 neural pathways die, we need positive neural pathways only being created. And then the last thing I wanted to do, guys, is stand in front of the mirror and say, I love you 10 times. It's part of that 300 new neural pathways. But stand 6 feet away from the mirror. We have this optical illusion that human beings have. When we get close to a mirror, shaving guys are putting makeup on girls and see all our blemishes. Subconsciously, we go out to the world thinking people can see all our blemishes. When's the last time you went into the office? Hey, Jimmy, great to see you. We don't do that. So when you stand 6 feet away from the mirror, all your blemishes disappear. That's our news. So when you go out with confidence tomorrow morning, compliment 3 people every single day. Every single day. Okay, if you work from home, call somebody up online. You look amazing, great hair, whatever it is. It's free dopamine for you and free dopamine for them. If you do them 4 things for them, your life will change within days. It all starts in here and in here. That's where it all comes from. Do your trauma work, somebody knows what you're doing, and free yourself up.
Those are wonderful. All right, I'm going to start that tomorrow. I don't know if I can brush my teeth with my left hand.
I know. Well, because it's a working part of the brain, if you're right-handed, this is, you can do this, listen to radio, a thousand things at once while you're brushing your teeth. But when you do it at the other, like 1,000, for instance, more neural pathways are needed to concentrate on it, and that's how it's created.
Oh, right. So do you ever have, I mean, okay, I'll edit that out because that sounded really messy. Are there chances of people relapsing?
When you're working our program properly, I don't know other people what might do. Your brain has changed and programmed for the different patterns away from relapse. Relapse, people think relapse is when you drink alcohol or when you eat cake or watch the porn or, take the drug. It's not. It happens in at least 4 or 5 days before that, if not a week, is when the real relapse happens. And what happens is we don't notice, so we run with that subconsciously, and that becomes a working part of the brain because the basal ganglia picks it up, and round we go again. So the idea is we educate people how to spot that week before. Mm-hmm. So by following our routine, the week before when it comes, the thought or the action, you pick up on it. We have 7.3 seconds from that action, which is a week away from the relapse, to change our thought. And it's as simple as wear a rubber band, elastic band, we call it. And every time a thought pattern comes to self-sabotage, snap that hard. And all the pathways will be jolted, and you can go on with your day. So it's stuff like that we teach people. So is relapse possibility? Well, it's even possible with me. If I get up one morning and go, I don't like this anymore, and I'm done with helping everybody, and I'm going home, and I'm just going to drink. Of course, it happens. We limit what it happens to the program we teach.
So are you only a local, do you also help people who are not close to you?
95% of our work is telehealth.
Oh, okay.
We have 5 offices. We have Dallas, Texas. We have San Antonio, Texas. We have Manchester, England. We have Spain, and we have Switzerland. So them offices you can actually go into, but 95% is done, including 9D breathwork therapy. I couldn't even start to explain what that effect it would have on you. The first time someone hears it on the 12-minute free thing we do, every single one of them took the headphone. What the hell was that? Oh my God, I feel so good. So we've just figured out how to do that online now. So yeah, all over the world. We have people in Japan, Germany, it's crazy.
Oh, that's wonderful. All right. Well, Giant Builders, if you like this information, check out these episodes as well, and I'll have the links below that you might enjoy them as well. All right. Well, Doctor, any closing thoughts?
Guys, you have to realize that you can do anything. You have to realize that you've got to stop letting people tell you how to run your life. Nobody's coming to help you here. So it's down to you, and 100% can change. If anybody says negative stuff to you, they're a negative Nelly, and step away from them. You don't need that in your life. And I want you to remember this, if nothing else, okay? These 2 words. How many times have I told you, Julie, you can't do that? Says who? That's all you need. And they'll kind of startlingly look at you and says who? When me and my wife got married 9 years ago, second day we had an argument, we'd never argue. And I said, I'm not doing this. I've done this prick. I'm not doing this marriage. And she said, that's the way marriage is. And I don't know why. And I said, says who? And we both stared at each other and went, we're going to make our own marriage. And we still dance in the bathroom 9 or 10 years on, and we throw things at each other when we're on live TV or something. It's having that best friend relationship with someone around you who validates you and approves you. Everybody needs something. So remember, guys, says who?
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, Dr. Kelly, thank you so much for this great information. We'll have your information so people can contact you below. And I'm in awe. Thank you. I'm going to start my morning differently.
Oh, one more.
Oh, okay.
No, don't forget with the book, guys. It's the first 5 people that call and mention the show. I'm gonna send you a free copy. I'm gonna sign it. I'm gonna pay the shipping and everything. I'm gonna send it to you guys. Just mention the show or Lois or me, and then we'll send it to you on one condition. It's all free of charge, but you have to pass it on to somebody else free of charge.
Oh, that's very nice. Thank you, doctor. All right, Giant Builders, make sure you call and get your free book. So we'll see you next week.
Thank you for listening. This has been The Giant Builders with Lois Wyant.